Evening, everybody. Pretty simple, stagnant. 24 for 38 points won't win you a game. I don't think anywhere in the world. So, what you got?
Hey, Doug. We're used to seeing a lot of DHO, a lot of two-man game, a lot of flow and motion in your offense, and none of that seems to exist over the last week or so.
Yeah.
What's happened? How have you guys gone away from even like the Malik and Domas two-man game?
We haven't. They have to get to it. I had some conversations with them just a little while ago. Is like they have to be better. Like you are put in positions to play with pace, play with tempo. There's a lot of different ways to play with pace. You can have a speedy guy, you can advance the ball up the court, but one way that we need to do it is we need to make sure that we are passing, cutting, moving, all the things that you just described that are not happening. And first of all, if they're scoring every time, you have to get into something. You can't just go up the floor and just think that you're going to play random basketball. And that is where they have to be better as a group. And they understand that, man for man. And we'll be better, but that still is an excuse and it still ain't acceptable. So, yeah.
Doug, it seems like Zach is trying to get more comfortable as that primary facilitator with that second unit. I'm just curious your assessment of that group together, and how long do you go with that until you try something else?
Not long for first offs, but I think at the same time, like, we need Zach to stay aggressive, to be the guy that we've always known him to be, whether that is on ball, off ball, whatever it is. And, we can keep saying, like, we got a lot of new guys, we're trying to find our way, but that excuse that no one checks for you in this league like that. People just run through you and beat the hell out of you. So it doesn't matter what the excuse is. Take care of the basketball, play together, move the rock, and if you do that at a high level, we give ourselves the opportunity to win. We're not even giving ourselves an opportunity with 24 turnovers for 38 points. It's just, it's not acceptable. It'll never be acceptable. And I said that to them man for man, so they understand.
With those turnovers, what do you see as kind of the cause, and how do you balance in your mind, there being a learning curve of, like you're saying, getting used to some of these guys, and there being an effort to move the ball compared to, just some careless mistakes?
I would like to say it was their defense, but I have to go back and look at the film, but it just looked like, you throwing the ball to the guy in the third row. Like, that ain't it. You got to make sure that the passes are on time, on target. You play off of two. You pivot. You're using all of the fundamentals to make sure that you are making the right play and taking care of the basketball like it was your child. Like, it's valuable, and you have to treat it like it's freaking valuable. Every single possession. We're to that point. We need to play possession by possession for 48 minutes and then win every single possession, or try to win every single possession. And you're not doing that if you're throwing the ball all around the gym.
Coach DC, if you don't mind me asking, you put Markelle Fultz in at the 6-minute mark of the third quarter. What was your decision, to put him in at that time when you were about 20 points down?
Trying to see what Markelle can bring to the game. I thought he was good, actually. I thought he did a good job. Towards the end, I thought that he was trying to make some things happen and had a couple turnovers. But from the standpoint that just trying to stabilize and see what he brings, because we need to know how he's going to fit and what he's going to do. And I thought he did a good job. I mean, going forward, you don't know how much he's going to play as we look at rotations and as I try to figure out what those rotations are going to be going forward. But it was good to see him out there and good to see that he was healthy, and I thought he did a really good job. Yeah.
Hey, Doug, I know you've mentioned a few things that are obviously bothering you guys from this game. Is there just one or two that you're going to be most upset with as you go forward?
Losing. I'm not a good sport. I understand that. It's been that way my whole life. So I own that. Turning the ball over, not shooting 53s, not getting 30 assists. You want me to go on?
No, those
You
are
good?
fine.
Okay.
To those points, though, I wonder how much you see in your team. Obviously, you see high expectations. You set a bar high.
Yeah.
How tough is that? Kind of contrasting that with maybe just these are the personnel that you have, and you have to find different ways to find some of those results you're looking for.
Yeah, but the problem in this league is this isn't a league where you go out on the floor on the stage and you try to search for stuff. That's not how we build. So we have to figure that out. And if that means shortening rotations, I'll figure that out. That's my job. And yeah, I'll spend all my time doing it. That's just what it is. I'm not backing away from the challenge. Hell with that. We'll figure it out.
Doug, was there any sort of particular message to the guys after this game, or is it kind of just a loss, you guys move on, or was there any sort of message that you had for them after this one?
Yeah, like the message is not probably something that I could say right here, but totally unacceptable. Like, there's certain ways that I said this, like, I get down in a certain way, and I expect you guys to represent that. I know what these fans appreciate and they want and what our organization wants, and that ain't it. It ain't never going to be it. And the one thing that you do is you play so hard that you raise your hand to come out. That's what's expected. Yeah, unacceptable was really everything. And with saying all that, it's one loss, and we got to come back. And like I said, no one's checking for us, so they don't care. This league will just step on you and keep grinding and grinding and grinding. And you have to be above the fray. And when this job was taken over, we were in a bad spot, and however many games under 500, and they, to the players' credit, they fought back and put themselves in a position to fight. So now you got to freaking fight.
Doug, I guess I'm following up on that question. The long delay tonight in coming out, was that a long conversation that you and the guys had back there following this game?
That's always going to be between me and them. But what you always find is I'm not going to run from it. I'm going to stand there and I'm going to say it. And I'm going to say it in front of everybody. And I want everybody to be on the same page because that's just who I am. But I love every one of those guys. I truly, truly do. I have a relationship with every single one of them. And they'll be mad at me because that's part of what this job entails. Everybody ain't going to be happy. But who needs to be happy is the fans. Who needs to be happy is them as a team, not an individual, as a team. So you can not be happy as an individual, but still be happy for your brothers. And bottom line is we have to come out and play with a sense of urgency, aggressiveness, a physicality. We have to want to win more than we want to breathe. And that ain't it.
You mentioned the fans a handful of times, just like you did right there. I mean, is there an added frustration with the fact that, there's a decent amount of Warriors fans in the building tonight? It's happening at home, and to kind of hear there being energy in the building a little bit for the Warriors?
You wasn't here when I played, though. Yeah, it was the same way. And they didn't come in our building. So I don't like to hear them. And if you want to not hear them, you shut them up. And we didn't. So I respect that. Yeah.